Mama Dennis was walking along the lonely road. It was afternoon. People rarely used that road because everyone said it was dangerous. But it was also the fastest shortcut to the other side of the city. The sun was high, the air was dry, and the ground was full of dust. Mama Dennis walked slowly, dragging her worn slippers as she moved. Her clothes were dirty and torn. Her blouse had holes in it, and her wrapper was faded and stained. Her grey hair was rough and uncombed, and her face looked tired. To anyone watching, she looked like a mad woman. People in the city had seen her many times, walking around and talking to herself. As she reached the middle of the lonely road, a man appeared from the corner. He looked around carefully, as if checking if anyone was watching. He wore a black t-shirt, black jeans, and a black cap. His smile was wide but strange, and his eyes were too sharp. He looked at Mama Dennis and walked toward her with slow steps. "Mama," he said softly, "you must be hungry. Come with me. Let me buy you something to eat." Mama Dennis stopped and looked at him closely. "No," she replied, "leave me alone." But the man didn't stop. He stepped closer and said, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Just come with me. Let me help you." "I said leave me alone," Mama Dennis said again, turning to walk away. The man followed her. He smiled, but there was something dangerous behind that smile. Then, from the other side, a woman appeared. She looked young and beautiful. She walked fast, like someone in a hurry. She came close to Mama Dennis and spoke with a sweet voice. "Mama, don't mind this man," she said. "Let me take you to a safe place. This road is not good. It's too lonely. Come with me." Mama Dennis stopped again. Now she was confused. The man was still close, and now this woman had joined him. They both were smiling, but their eyes were saying something different. "She is with me," the man added quickly. "We just want to help you." Suddenly, a young girl came running toward them from a corner. She looked simple and tired. "Mama, don't go with them," she shouted. All of them turned to look at her. "They are working together. They are kidnappers." The woman's face changed immediately. Her fake smile disappeared, and she looked angry. "What are you talking about?" she shouted. "Mind your business." The girl stepped forward without fear. "I've seen them before in another street. They always pretend to help old or poor people, but they take them and disappear. Mama, if you follow them, you may not come back alive." The man frowned and stepped forward. "Who are you to stop us? You don't know anything." "Try me," the girl said loudly. "If you don't leave now, I will scream. Boys from nearby houses will come out. You know they won't ask questions. They will beat you before they even know what's happening. I will shout now, just watch me." The woman grabbed the man's arm. "She's serious," she said. "Let's go. She has spoiled everything." The man looked at the girl one more time, hissed loudly, then turned and walked away quickly with the woman. They disappeared into the bush path beside the road. The girl turned to Mama Dennis and held her arm gently. "Are you all right, Mama?" Mama Dennis looked at her with tired eyes and gave a small smile. "Thank you, my daughter," she said. "You saved me." The girl nodded. "Mama, what are you doing here alone? This road is not safe, and you don't even sound like a mad woman." Mama Dennis looked down and sighed. "You won't understand," she said quietly. "People see me and call me mad. They don't know my story. But it's okay. You have a good heart." The girl looked surprised. "My name is Ada," she said. "I just finished university 4 months ago. I've been jobless since then. I stay with a friend. I have no money, and life is very hard. But I couldn't just stand there and watch them take you." "You did something that many people would not do," Mama Dennis said. "Even with all your problems, you still helped someone like me." "I just did what I knew was right," Ada said. "If I walked past and something bad happened to you, I would never forgive myself." Mama Dennis smiled. "God will bless you, Ada. I will never forget this. I may look poor and mad, but there is more to me than you know." Ada looked at her and nodded slowly. "Mama, I believe you. You don't talk like a mad person at all. I'm sure something happened to you. You're just hiding from the world." Mama Dennis paused, then looked around carefully. "Come closer," she whispered. "Meet me tomorrow at the supermarket junction by 10 a.m. I want to take you to a place where you can get a job." Ada's eyes widened. "Really? You want to help me?" "Yes, my daughter. You helped me without asking for anything. Now let me help you. Ada's voice shook with emotion. "Thank you, Mama. I don't know what to say." "I will be there tomorrow. I promise, Mama Dennis." Then turned and walked away. Ada stood and watched her until she disappeared into the distance. She whispered to herself, "God, please let this be real. Please let this be the beginning of something good." She turned and walked back to her friend's house, her heart full of questions, but also full of hope. She didn't know who Mama Dennis really was, but something told her that her life was about to change forever. Mama Dennis got home that evening, tired but happy. She opened the gate to her compound quietly and walked inside the big house. The guards greeted her, but she didn't say much. She went straight into the house, where her only son, Dennis, was seated in the living room. He looked up when he saw her. "Mum, why are you dressed like this?" "You look like you've been walking through dust all day," he said, raising his eyebrows. She smiled and sat down on the couch opposite him. "You won't understand, my son. Today I went out like this on purpose. I needed to be free, to think, to walk among people who don't know me." Dennis shook his head. "I don't understand, Mum. You're the mother of a successful CEO. Why dress this way?" She ignored his question and leaned forward. "I found a wife for you today," she said. Dennis laughed out loud. "Mum, not again. I told you I'm not ready." Her face changed. "You must be ready. I need grandchildren. You're getting older." "Mum, I'm only 34, he said. "I've told you before. All these girls just want my money. I don't want to marry someone who's after my name, my company, or my account balance. I don't trust them." She sighed. "You're successful, handsome, and have everything a woman could want in a man. But not every woman is like that, my son. This girl is different. She's kind. She saved me from kidnappers today. She didn't even know who I was, but she helped me without asking for anything. She's a good wife material." Dennis looked serious. "Mum, I'm sorry, but I won't judge her based on what you said. Maybe she helped you, and that's good. But still, I know how women are. They all love money." "Not all of them," Mama Dennis said firmly. "Some women still have a good heart." Dennis stood up and stretched. "By the way, Mum, I have a flight to catch by 8 p.m. tonight. I have a business meeting in Ghana tomorrow morning." She frowned. "So how will you see the new wife I found for you?" "Mum, I told you I'm not ready. I'm not looking for a wife now, maybe in 4 years' time. But for now, if you like her that much, let her work here. She can be cooking for me." "That's fine." Mama Dennis nodded slowly. "Fine, I will tell her. But I know one day, you'll see what I see. She's special." Dennis looked at his watch. "Let me go and rest a bit before heading to the airport." "Safe trip, my son," Mama Dennis said. "Go in peace and return safely." He smiled lightly, shook his head, and walked away to his room. Meanwhile, Ada got home that evening, still thinking about everything that happened. As she stepped into the one-bedroom flat she shared with her friend Patricia, the smell of palm oil and onions filled the air. Patricia was in the small kitchen. She turned and looked at Ada with surprise. "Where have you been since morning?" Ada smiled. "I went to walk around, clear my head, and something happened," she said. Patricia asked her what happened. "I helped a woman today," Ada said. "They call her mad in this area, but she's not mad. She was almost kidnapped by 2 people pretending to help her. I stopped them and saved her. She was so grateful. And guess what? She told me to meet her tomorrow at the supermarket junction. She said she'll take me to a place where I can get a job." Patricia stared at her in disbelief. "Wait, are you serious right now? A mad-looking woman promised you a job and you believed her? Ada, how pathetic can you be? You're so gullible and naive." Ada's face changed. "Why won't I believe her? You, hours ago, told me to go and look for money to pay my part of the house rent. You mocked me, saying I was sitting here jobless. Now I find someone who might help, and you're here saying rubbish." Patricia sighed. "Ada, I'm only saying the truth. You don't know this woman. What if she's one of those kidnappers pretending to be mad? People do that now. They wear dirty clothes and act like they're mentally unstable, then lure people into traps." Ada shook her head. "She's not like that. Her eyes are clear. She talks with sense. I felt peace around her. Something tells me she's real." Patricia raised one eyebrow. "Okay, no problem. It's your life. If you want to go and follow a mad woman around the city, go ahead. Just don't come back and say I didn't warn you." Ada walked past her and entered their small room. God, please let this be real, she whispered. I need this job. I need a new beginning. The next morning, Ada woke up early and made her way to the supermarket junction just before 10 a.m. Her heart was beating fast. She kept checking around, hoping to see Mama Dennis. She stood under a small tree for shade, waiting. A few minutes later, a sleek black car parked beside her. A well-dressed woman in her late 20s stepped out. She walked up to Ada with a smile. Are you Ada? She asked. Ada nodded slowly, unsure. Good, the woman said. Mama Dennis sent me to bring you to her house. Come with me. Ada stepped back immediately. Her mind flashed to the words Patricia had told her the night before. Her face became tight. I'm not following you anywhere. My friend warned me about things like this. So you people now send women to do the job, right? You must be a kidnapper pretending to be sent by Mama Dennis. I'm not stupid. Let me start going before your other gang members come out from nowhere. The lady was shocked. Excuse you? She said, her face turning red. How dare you call me a kidnapper? I'm telling you Mama Dennis sent me, and you're here fooling yourself in public. Ada crossed her arms. You're already shouting. That's a red flag. That's what most kidnappers do. They send someone calm, then when you question them, they get angry. It's all part of the trick. Thank you, but I'm not going. The woman hissed, pulled out her phone and made a call. Mama, this local girl said she's not coming, she said into the phone. She's standing here like a soldier, refusing to enter the car. Ada could hear Mama Dennis's voice through the phone. Give the phone to her, Mama Dennis said calmly. The lady handed the phone to Ada, still frowning. Mama, Ada said carefully, you promised to take me there yourself. Why did you send someone else? I don't trust this. Mama Dennis laughed softly on the phone. My daughter, I know. You're being careful and that's good. But I'm old and tired. The place is far, and I didn't want to stress myself this morning. This lady is my personal assistant. She is safe. I will explain everything better when you come. Don't worry, you're in good hands. Ada breathed out slowly. Okay, Mama, if you say so. The call ended. Ada turned to the woman and said, Sorry for what I said earlier. But I still don't trust anybody. The world is not safe. The woman didn't smile. She was clearly still annoyed. No problem, she said coldly. Shall we go now? Wait, Ada said. Before we go, let's take a picture together. I want to send it to my friends. If anything happens to me, at least they'll have your face. The woman rolled her eyes but agreed. They both stood together. Ada brought out her small phone and snapped a selfie with her. She immediately sent it to Patricia and called her. Patricia, I just sent you the picture of a woman. If anything happens to me, please show it to the police, she said. Patricia laughed on the phone. Ada, you are too much. Anyway, good luck. I hope this one is not madness again. They entered the car, and after about 30 minutes of driving, they reached a quiet street, lined with beautiful houses and trimmed flowers. The car stopped in front of a large gate. The car drove in slowly, revealing a mansion that looked like something from a movie. Ada's mouth fell open. Where is this place? She asked. The woman said nothing. She parked and led her to the front door. Inside the house was even more beautiful. Gold curtains, glass tables, white marble floor, and the smell of vanilla filled the air. Mama Dennis was sitting in a luxurious armchair, wearing a beautiful lace gown with her hair nicely packed. She looked nothing like the mad woman from yesterday. Mama? Ada asked in shock. Mama Dennis smiled. Yes, my daughter. This is my real home. I dress like that sometimes to walk freely and observe the world. People judge too quickly. Yesterday you didn't run from me. You helped me. That showed the kind of heart you have. I told my son about you, and he agreed that you can work here in the house as a cook. The kitchen is big, and you'll be well paid. Everything is legal and safe. You'll be treated with respect. Tears filled Ada's eyes. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. This is more than I expected. I'm ready to work. I will not disappoint you. Mama Dennis stood up and hugged her. Welcome to your new life, my daughter. This is just the beginning. The next morning, Ada was cleaning the kitchen when she suddenly heard loud cries coming from the sitting room. She ran out quickly. When she entered the room, she saw Mama Dennis sitting on the floor, crying so loud, holding her phone tightly. Ada rushed to her. "Mama, Mama, what is it? Why are you crying like this? What happened?" Mama Dennis looked up, her eyes red and swollen. "My son, Dennis, he was involved in a car accident on his way home this morning. The doctor just called me now. He's in the hospital." Ada's heart dropped. She knelt beside her and held her. "Oh no, Mama, I'm so sorry. But please don't cry too much. Nothing will happen to him. He'll be fine. God will protect him." Mama Dennis kept crying. "I feel so helpless. He's my only child. I don't even know how bad it is. They said he's unconscious." Ada hugged her gently. "Mama, calm down. Let's pray for him. God is able. He won't die. He will come back stronger." That whole day was quiet in the house. Ada did everything she could to comfort Mama Dennis, but the pain was deep. Days passed slowly. Mama Dennis went to the hospital once, but came back crying again. She said Dennis hadn't opened his eyes, and the doctors were worried. 5 days later, early in the morning, Mama Dennis called Ada to her room. Her face looked tired but calmer. "Ada, please help me," she said softly. "Take this food to the hospital. I want you to go and give it to Dennis." Ada quickly collected the food flask and took the address. When she reached the hospital, the nurse showed her to his room. She walked in quietly and was shocked by what she saw. Dennis was lying on the hospital bed, his whole face covered in bandage. She moved closer and greeted softly. "Good afternoon, sir. I'm Ada. Your mother sent me to bring your food." Dennis turned his head slightly, following the sound of her voice. His voice was weak. "Thank you. I heard her talking about you. The doctor told me something." Ada moved closer. "What did the doctor say?" "He said I can't see anymore," Dennis replied, a deep sadness in his tone. "I'm blind now." Ada gasped and covered her mouth, her eyes filled with tears. "I'm so sorry, but don't lose hope. There's nothing God cannot do. You'll see again. Miracles still happen." Dennis gave a small smile. "You really believe that?" "Yes," Ada said. "I believe it with all my heart. You'll eat and get strong. We'll all pray for you." She opened the flask and fed him quietly. He ate slowly, listening to her voice. When he finished, she cleaned his mouth, packed the food, and stood up. "I'll come again, sir. Rest well." Dennis nodded. "Thank you, Ada." After she left, Dennis picked up his phone beside him and called his mother. "Mama," he said, smiling faintly, "I think she's so beautiful. I like her voice. Let's keep to the plan." Mama Dennis smiled on the other end of the line. "I told you, my son, she's special." Dennis was now back home from the hospital. He wore dark glasses to cover his eyes and used a walking stick to help him move around the house. Though he had not fully accepted his new condition, he was learning to adjust slowly. Mama Dennis was always by his side, helping him move, giving him strength, and encouraging him every day. Ada also did her best to make sure everything was in place: his food, his bath water, his space. She handled it all with love and care. One afternoon, Mama Dennis called Ada into her room. "Ada, my daughter," she said gently, "I want to travel to Abuja tomorrow morning. One of my childhood friends just lost her husband. I have to be there for the burial. I will be gone for 2 weeks." Ada nodded slowly. "Oh, sorry about your friend, Mama. That's sad." Mama Dennis sighed. "Yes, it is. But I have to go. Now please, I want you to take care of Dennis for me. You already know his routine. Help him walk around when he wants to, give him his food, and just be there for him. I trust him with you, Ada." Ada's eyes softened. "Don't worry, Mama. I will take care of him like he's my brother." "I promise," Mama Dennis smiled. "Thank you, my daughter. You are truly a blessing. I will miss you." "I will miss you too, Mama," Ada replied. "You have become like a mother to me. I'll be counting the days until you return." Mama Dennis stood and hugged her warmly. "God bless you. Remember, take care of my son. He needs you now more than ever." Ada nodded again, her heart calm but also nervous. The responsibility she had just accepted wasn't small. But in her heart, she was ready. The next day, Ada was in the kitchen preparing lunch, and Dennis was sitting quietly in the living room that morning. The house was quiet until the front door opened loudly. Heavy footsteps followed. He immediately recognized the voice. "Dennis, so you're here sitting like a king while I'm out there suffering." It was his uncle, his late father's elder brother, Mr. Jeremiah. The man walked in without greeting or respect, smelling of sweat and frustration. "Uncle Jeremiah," Dennis said calmly. "Good morning." "Good what?" the man snapped. "I didn't come here for greetings. I came for what belongs to me. Where's the monthly allowance you're supposed to send me?" Dennis adjusted himself in the chair. "Uncle, I just came back from the hospital. I was in an accident. My eyes, I can't see anymore." "And so," the man fired back, "what has that got to do with my allowance? Blind or not, your bank account still works." Dennis took a breath. "Uncle, do you even hear yourself? You haven't asked how I'm feeling. You didn't even visit when I was in the hospital. You didn't call once. You just want money. Is that all I am to you?" Jeremiah stepped forward. "You are the son of my brother. That makes me your responsibility. Your father, may his soul rest in peace, used to send me money every month. You must continue. Whether you're blind or not, my son is still in school. He needs it. I need it. Don't come and start giving excuses." Dennis was silent for a moment. "I've worked hard for everything I have. I run my own company. You've never supported me. You've never offered advice or encouragement. Now that I can't even see, all you care about is what I can give you." "Don't preach to me," the man shouted. "You think you're doing me a favor? You owe me. You're a small boy. If not for your father's name, who would you be? I'll collect my money today whether you like it or not." Suddenly, they heard fast footsteps coming from the corridor. Ada stormed into the room, her eyes sharp. "I heard everything," she said. "Sir, with all due respect, permit me to deal with this heartless, ungrateful man standing here like a vulture." "Oh, please," Ada snapped, stepping closer. "Don't you dare call me names. You should be ashamed of yourself. A grown man, old enough to be a grandfather, standing here with no shame, asking a blind man for money. You don't even ask how he's coping. You are not just heartless, you are wicked. You have no soul. You talk like this in my presence," the uncle barked. "Dennis, are you hearing this? Your house girl is insulting me and you say nothing." Dennis sat silently, his head lowered. He didn't move or speak. The uncle looked at him with disbelief. "So this is how it is now? You're letting this girl insult me like this?" Ada continued, "Yes, he's not saying anything because you deserve every word I said. And more. With all due respect, sir, leave this house now and never come back. If you try it again, I swear I will break your head with my bare hands. Lazy man." The room went silent for a moment. The uncle stared at her in shock, then looked at Dennis again, who still said nothing. Realizing he had no support, he hissed loudly and stormed out. "You'll regret this," he shouted as he marched to the gate. "Both of you." Dennis slowly turned his head toward her. "Thank you," he said softly. "Thank you for standing up for me. Nobody has ever spoken to him like that." Ada looked at him with fire still in her eyes. "I don't like wicked people, sir. Especially the ones who pretend to be family but act like enemies. Don't worry, he will not come back again." Dennis smiled faintly under his dark glasses. "I'm lucky to have you here, Ada." "I'm happy to be here, sir. Always." 2 days later, Ada was in the kitchen preparing Dennis's lunch when she heard a knock at the door. She quickly wiped her hands and went to open it. Standing there was Patricia. Ada blinked in surprise. "Patricia, what are you doing here?" Patricia pushed past her without waiting for an answer and entered the house, looking around. "So this is where you've been hiding," she said, her eyes rolling around the fine furniture. "Big house. Since you started taking care of your blind boss, you don't even remember your friend anymore." Ada frowned. "Patricia, watch your tongue. That's a human being you're talking about. He's not just my blind boss, he's a kind man going through a lot. Show some respect." Patricia laughed and sat on the arm of the couch. "Ada, you are lucky and you don't even know it. If I was in your position, I would have used my brain by now. This is a golden opportunity." Ada frowned. "What are you talking about?" Patricia looked around again, then leaned in and whispered, "He's blind. His mother is not around. If he tells you to buy something, increase the price. Put more on the card, keep the extra. Start saving money for us. We've suffered enough, Ada. Be smart. This is how some housegirls become rich. Ada stepped back, her face full of shock. Patricia, are you hearing yourself? You're telling me to steal from someone who trusted me. Patricia hissed. Stop acting like a village girl. You're always doing "I'm a good girl," like it will put food on your table. This is city life. What if they sack you tomorrow? Will you come back to me empty-handed again? Ada raised her voice. God forbid. I will never steal from these people. They took me in, gave me food, gave me shelter, treated me with love and respect. And you want me to betray them? Dennis is blind, not stupid. And you think I should take advantage of that? Patricia, you're heartless. Patricia stood up angrily. You're not ready for life, Ada. Keep living like a fool. When they throw you out, don't call me. Ada pointed to the door. Leave. Now don't come here again. You're a bad friend. I don't need people like you around me. Go and find someone else to teach wickedness. I will never be like you. Patricia grabbed her small bag. Don't worry, I'll leave. But remember what I said. If they chase you out of this house, don't ever come to me for help. Ada frowned. That will never happen. Good riddance. Patricia stormed out, slamming the door hard behind her. 2 days later, Dennis called Ada to his room and handed her his bank card. Ada, he said calmly, please go to the market and buy some things for the house. The list is on the table. I'll give you my bank card. Ada collected the list and the card with a small smile. Okay, sir, I'll be back soon. Dennis sat back and sighed. In his mind, he was expecting the worst. After all, he had grown up around people who acted nice, but betrayed him the moment they had access to money. Part of him believed Ada would come back with stories. Maybe she would say things were more expensive than listed, or that she lost the card. He was blind now. He couldn't check receipts or prices himself. All he had was trust, and he wasn't sure if he had enough of it. Hours passed. Then Ada returned carrying bags of groceries. She entered the house quietly, arranged the items neatly on the kitchen counter, and brought his card back to him, receipt attached. Here you go, sir, she said. Everything on the list has been bought. I used exactly what was needed, nothing extra. Dennis was silent. He collected the card and paper. Are you sure? He asked. Ada nodded. You can even ask the driver. We didn't stop anywhere else, and the prices are written clearly. She turned and went back to the kitchen. Dennis sat still, shocked. He didn't say a word for a few minutes. Then he reached for his phone and called his mother. Mama, he said quietly, you won't believe this. What is it, my son? Mama Dennis replied on the other end. I sent Ada to the market today with my bank card, Dennis said. I expected her to do what most people do, to cheat me. I mean, I wouldn't have known if she added money. But Mama, she didn't. She used only what I asked her to. Everything is correct. She brought back the receipt, returned the card, and walked away like it was normal. Mama Dennis laughed softly. I told you, that girl has a good heart. You see it now? Dennis nodded slowly. Yes, Mama, I'm beginning to see it. She's not like others. I judged her too early. Keep watching her, Mama said. There's something special about that girl. She's different. Dennis ended the call and leaned back. For the first time in a long while, he smiled. Not because of what he heard, but because of what he felt. Love and trust, slowly building. By the weekend, the house was quiet as usual. Dennis was seated in the living room, dressed neatly in a clean shirt and trousers. He was expecting a business partner, his longtime friend and associate, Mr. Raymond. They had been doing business together for years, and even though Dennis had gone blind, Raymond still visited regularly to help with business documents. Not long after, Mr. Raymond walked in, holding a brown envelope. Dennis, my man, he said loudly, laughing. Good to see you again. Dennis stood slightly to welcome him and stretched out his hand. Raymond, you're welcome. How are things? They both sat down. Raymond brought out some documents from the envelope. These are some of the new deals we discussed over the phone. I just need you to sign them quickly so we can process the next stage. Everything is fine, no worries. Dennis nodded and reached out for the pen on the table. Just then, Ada walked into the living room. She stopped when she saw the papers. Good afternoon, sir. She greeted Raymond with a slight bow, then turned to Dennis. Sir, please, may I see the documents before you sign? Dennis turned to her, surprised. Ada, this is my best friend and business partner. We've worked together for over 10 years. I trust him completely. He can't do anything bad to me. But Ada stepped closer and gently held his hand before he could sign. Please, sir, forgive me, but trust is not enough when it comes to documents. Just let me take a look. It won't take a minute. Something doesn't feel right. Raymond's face changed. He frowned and stood up slowly. Are you saying I'm trying to cheat him? Who are you? A housemaid telling a CEO not to trust his own partner? I don't like this girl's attitude. And I don't like yours either, sir, Ada replied boldly. If everything is fine, why are you afraid of me checking the papers? You should be happy someone is helping your friend. Raymond's face turned red. He packed the documents quickly and hissed. You know what? Keep your papers. Since I'm being insulted in this house, I'll take my business elsewhere. He stormed out, slamming the door behind him. Dennis sat silently for a moment. He was still trying to process what just happened. Ada sat beside him slowly. Sir, she said softly, I told you. That man is evil. If those papers were truly clean, why didn't he let me see them? I may not be a lawyer, but I know tricks when I see one. You could have signed away millions without knowing. Dennis leaned back in the chair. You're right, Ada. I thought he was my friend. But what kind of friend walks away angry because of a simple check? No friend should be angry if you want to be careful. Ada nodded. There's no friendship in business, sir. Please always call me before you sign anything again. I may not know everything, but I'll always try to protect you. Dennis sighed deeply. I will. From now on, I'll always let you check everything first. He reached out and touched her hand gently. Ada, you are an angel. What would I have done without you? Ada smiled shyly. It's nothing, sir. I'm just doing what's right. As she stood up to leave, she turned slightly, blew him a gentle kiss, and walked away quietly. She thought he wouldn't notice since he couldn't see her. But Dennis, though blind, felt something in the air. Her soft presence, her scent, the kindness in her voice. After she left the room, he smiled to himself, leaned back into the chair and whispered, I love you so much, Ada. A week after the incident with the fake business partner, everything in the house felt calm again. Ada continued doing her duties, cooking, cleaning, helping Dennis around the house, and making sure he lacked nothing. Dennis, on the other hand, had been silent but thoughtful. Every time Ada entered the room, he felt his heartbeat rise. Her voice brought him peace. Her laughter lit up the room. Her presence healed something in him. One evening, while Ada was serving him dinner, Dennis reached out gently and held her hand. She froze, surprised, and looked at him. Ada, he said softly, I need to tell you something important. Ada sat down slowly, sensing the seriousness in his voice. What is it, sir? He took a deep breath. I want to marry you. Ada blinked. What? Yes, Dennis said. I don't want to waste time. I want to marry you, Ada. You've shown me love, honesty, kindness, and loyalty. What else does a man need in a woman? You're everything I never knew I needed. Ada stared at him, speechless. But sir, I don't understand. Dennis smiled. And there's something else. I haven't been completely honest with you. Ada's face changed. What do you mean? He sighed. I was never blind. Ada gasped. What? Yes, he said calmly. I lied about the accident. It wasn't real. There was no crash. I could see the whole time. I heard everything. I even saw you blow that kiss last weekend after you stopped me from signing those documents. I smiled, but you thought I didn't see it. Ada stood up slowly, her hand over her mouth. I don't understand. Why would you do that to me? Dennis stood too, removed the dark glasses, and looked into her eyes. When my mother told me a total stranger had saved her from kidnappers, I was shocked. She said she wanted me to marry you. But I had never met you before. I couldn't just agree to marry someone I didn't know. So I decided to test you. I wanted to see if you were truly kind, honest, and trustworthy. So I faked everything. The accident, the blindness, all of it. Mama helped me plan it. I watched how you cared for me when you thought I couldn't see. I watched how you defended me from my greedy uncle. I heard how you rejected your friend's advice to steal from me. You passed every test, Ada. You touched my soul. Tears filled Ada's eyes. So, All this time, you saw me. Yes, he said, and I fell in love with you deeply. Now I know you, not just from what Mama said, but with my own heart. I want to marry you, Ada. Will you say yes? Ada covered her mouth, crying and smiling at the same time. Yes, yes, I'll marry you. She ran into his arms and he held her tightly. They stood in that embrace for a long moment, feeling like nothing else in the world mattered. The next morning, Ada went to visit Patricia for the last time. She wanted to share her joy and tell her former friend the good news. Patricia opened the door, looking shocked to see her. Ada? Yes, it's me. I just wanted to tell you I'm getting married. To who? Patricia asked. Dennis, Ada said with a smile. He proposed yesterday. He wasn't blind. It was all a test. Patricia stood still, then scoffed. You're marrying a man who tested your love. That's foolish. If I were in your shoes, I wouldn't marry him. A man who lies just to test a woman's loyalty is not worth keeping. He is useless. If he loved you, he wouldn't need to test you like a child. Ada smiled calmly. I understand your opinion, but I also know what I went through. I know who I saw in him. He wanted to be sure before giving me his heart. I passed the test, and he didn't betray me. I named myself foolish for coming here. I thought you would be happy for me, but I was wrong again. Patricia, this is goodbye. You won't see me around you again, never. She turned around and left without looking back. 2 months later, Ada and Dennis got married on a bright Saturday morning. She wore a simple white gown, and he stood proudly in a black suit. Mama Dennis smiled through tears as they exchanged vows. When the pastor said, "You may now kiss the bride," the crowd cheered. It was a joyful, beautiful day, and from that moment they lived happily ever after. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.